and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who is really missing you, someone who doesn't really express their emotions very easily and has been struggling with whether or not they're ever going to see you again. We've got I'm so lost without you and I'm hiding my emotions. So it could be that it's taken a long time for them to realize that if they want to be in a healthy connection, they have to be more comfortable with expressing those emotions. So they may have been looking for ways to address this block for them with regards to communication. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenta. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. What do you think? I think we'll go with the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Swords, Six of Swords in the reverse, and the King of Swords in the reverse. Wow, okay. So it's interesting because the King and Queen of Swords, these are generally seen as divine counterparts, first part. But if there are to be divine counterparts that are in separation or are exes, they would generally be portrayed as the King and Queen of Swords. Especially when you have the King of Swords in the reverse, this indicates that there is some issue here, perhaps some argument. And then you add the Six of Swords in the reverse, which talks about things getting more difficult or more challenging. And it feels to me like this Queen of Swords is saying, I don't think I really want to deal with this anymore. I keep trying, but it seems like I'm talking to a brick wall. The Queen of Swords also represents boundaries. So keep in mind that I'm reading energy, not physicality. The Queen of Swords could be anyone, does not need to be a woman, but the person that I'm reading for would be this Queen of Swords. You have a King of Swords in the reverse, does not have to be a man, who is struggling with communication, struggling with their emotions, and feels like they have lost you. They view you as someone who has taken healing more seriously than other people in their life. It's not that you've lived some easy life. Whoever this is for, you have had your own challenges. You have fought through difficulties, substances, family problems, exes, maybe even difficulties within, your friend group, but you've been able to address them. They look at themselves and they feel like they don't have the same type of strength or courage that you've displayed, and therefore they feel like maybe they don't really deserve you. Hello, Bianca. How are you doing? Hello, Southwest. Hello, Kitty. How are you doing? I could maybe answer that in the comments, but I'd need to be like looking at my phone. There's several steps. I do think that they limit it though. You might have to have a certain set of requirements. As my channel grew, there were more features or options that I could do. Like I couldn't go live until I think I hit like 1,000 or 750 subscribers, something like that. So we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles. If all I can expect from this connection is unpredictable energy and someone who doesn't know how to communicate, then how can I create balance within that connection? Maybe the priority, so say the Queen of Swords, is my own stability, my own balance in life, not really having to deal with this drama. So I do feel like the separation has happened because of this person's inability to express their emotions or make it clear what their intentions are. I do feel like this is someone who has not had a lot of experience with, or maybe any experience with, the idea of unconditional love. They may have had a very difficult childhood, or they may have felt like they had to be rather stoic as they were growing up. But with the Queen of Cups in the reverse, you may look at this person as manipulative. They may look at themselves as protecting their heart. but I do feel like they had multiple opportunities to determine that you were not interested in breaking their heart. So perhaps they were a bit negative. Hello, yes, what about it? Hello, Minnesota Picker. How you doing? Oh, he loves you too, Jack. You out here talking about Jesus when your name is Jack McBooty? All right. All right, that's a choice. Hello, Woo Woo. Hello, James. That cracks me up. All right. Someone just gave me a gift. Hold on, I have to say thank you. Dang it, I don't see it. Oh, it was Minnesota Picker. Thank you, Minnesota Picker. It's true. They are. How's your weekend going, everybody? So we've got the Page of Cups in the reverse and Death in the reverse. Even though I didn't make an offer, even though I didn't know how to express my emotions, I'm still dealing with a lot of sadness, and I feel so lost without you because those emotions didn't just evaporate when I walked away. Those desires for something long-term or to be in, I'm sorry, I'm going to use some lyrics, the sunshine of your love. That's how they view it. They felt like the happiest times they had were when they were with you. This is The Truth Is. Aw, I'm sorry you feel that way, BG. You're welcome to come back with a better attitude someday. Enjoy your weekend. Hello, Melissa. Yes, you can. I do the general reading for the first 25, 30 minutes, and then I start in on the personal questions. Hey, Minnesota Picker, you want to be a moderator? All right, so we've got the third party card. There is somebody else who is interfering with this connection, and let's keep in mind that a third party doesn't have to be a romantic rival. The third party could also be somebody who just talks them out of being in a relationship, right? A friend who doesn't feel like they would have a wingman if they got into a relationship, or a family member who's controlling, right? Thank you, Melissa. Me and Joe can be able to work things out. So Melissa, in about probably 20 minutes or so, I will give a little heads up and say, okay, we're gonna move to personal questions soon, and then I'll call out the lineup if there are other people that want to have questions as well, but you would be the first one. Hello, Swami, how you doing? So keep in mind that this person struggles with talking about their emotions with you. They struggle feeling those emotions for you. But they've had a lot of external influences that have made them feel like love is just like not a real thing or not worth investing in. So even though I have to hide the exciting bits, but even though we have the Lovers card, sorry, YouTube gets mad with the nudity. They felt this soulmate tie to you, but making that decision or expressing those emotions proved to be too much of a challenge. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Hey, Grindheart, how's it going? What's going on? Minnesota Picker, I think the absolutely was in response to my question, but do you mind confirming? I don't like to assign responsibility or obligation to people without knowing for sure they're up for it or on board. So we have Love Magician. You have the power to transform this connection. So after, I would think, at least several weeks, but perhaps for some of you it's been more like months or years, this person who has struggled with the concept of unconditional love or how to communicate their emotions to you is realizing they do have the power to change things. They felt incapable. They felt like they didn't really have the manual. They don't know how to do this. But they're realizing choosing the other path has made them only regret that choice and wonder what you're up to and whether or not there's still a chance here. Awesome. Thank you. You're the best. Hello, Omerto. How you doing? Oh, you think she's hot? All right, so we've got just friends. You are better off as friends. Well, that's a very conflicting message. So this person basically feels like they're lost without you. They didn't really know how to communicate their emotions, but they recently felt like they could find the courage to actually fix this connection. But they've taken so long that you're already at the conclusion that maybe it's just best to like either not talk to this person or not be romantic with this person. All right, this is the gold foil tarot. Hello, Bruce. How are you doing? We've got the Ten of Cups in the reverse, the Three of Cups, Seven of Swords in the reverse. So I do feel like somebody may be partying. I do feel like somebody may be maybe escaping a little bit or distracting themselves. And when they're around their friends, they accidentally let slip how they really feel. Like, I'm not lying when I say that for some of you, this person gets emotional and starts crying. And a best friend or a couple of friends see them and hear them talk about you. It could be family, but the like pressure builds for them, the frustration pushes them to be perhaps a little bit more emotional than they normally would be. They're missing you a ton, and someone in that group says, well, why don't you go talk to them? If you miss them so much, what's holding you back? Hello, Outlaw. Hello, Naomi. How are you doing? Thank you, Samaya. So with the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Wands in the reverse, it may not be all of the friends who say, you know, maybe you should just like go do something about that. But I do feel like at least one friend may shock the King of Swords in the reverse by saying, well, if you love that person, like go talk to them. What are you doing over here? If this is upsetting you, like go do something. And they may not have expected that response. But if one person within the social group could be maturing and letting go of some of those old behaviors or kind of immature approaches to love, then couldn't there be someone else who's also going through that? Couldn't there also be somebody who wants their friend to be happy? I'm pleased to see this because usually it's like the whole friend group is like, eh. But this person's saying, well, why haven't you invested in it? Why haven't you pursued anything? If you love that person, don't let anything stop you. So this is the catalyst for the King of Swords in the reverse to really solidify that concept of courage within themselves and start planning. Okay, maybe I need to go talk to this person then. Maybe I need to confess my feelings to my love interest. I'm gonna call you PH because YouTube will get mad at me if I say your name. Hey, Omerto, you're welcome to stay if you want to be respectful. I'm gonna put you in like a real short timeout. But if you think that they're demonic, then you can just go watch a different channel, okay? So, Queen of Wands in the reverse, Emperor in the reverse. This insecurity or this not really being sure how to handle emotions or this lack of control that seems to have caused them to lack direction or feel stuck is all of a sudden identifying for them, well, I know exactly where I need to go. I need to go talk to the person that I love, the person that I miss. And I love to see it that it's because a friend is saying, well, go do what you need to do, man. Go do what you need to do, sis. Like, why are you here? Go after that person. Go talk to them. Chariot So they're like, you know what? You're right. What am I doing? I'll go talk to them. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. I do think that there's family that does not approve. So it feels to me like they plan this trip or they plan this conversation, they reach out and they feel like at some point there's going to be a difficult conversation with family. So maybe they've got some very involved parents. Maybe they've got some siblings who are very judgy. Maybe there's just this knowing that this is what is expected of me and you're over here. You're not the kind of person that they want for me. Is that what matters? Hello, Doc. How you doing? No, Samaya. Don't be creepy. Repeating it doesn't make it less creepy. Like, you realize you're just like a name on a screen to me, right? Like, I don't know anything about you, and I'm not here for that. Hello, Julia. How are you doing? But perhaps if you stick around, we can help you identify where you should be headed, right? Did I say hello to, is it French? Sophia? I'm trying. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. But hello, welcome. So we've got someone who's realizing that they've been not really sure how to move forward in life because they missed their train. They missed the opportunity to be with somebody that they love, and they keep looking back at those times they spent with that person. They're contemplating whether or not they need to follow the expectations or the direction of probably family members, but it could also be friends, or if they should pursue this divine feminine energy. I want to be clear that the divine feminine energy does not mean they're pursuing a woman. This could mean simply that they are willing to get in touch with that loving side of themselves. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us. And this is someone who's saying, maybe I do want that unconditional love. Maybe I don't want to run away from things that could actually make me happy. Thank you, Grindhard. Around 6 a.m. And positive talk from the family in 24 hours. All right, I've got that written down for you. Thank you, Grindhard. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing? Hello, Not Really Real. It was. How was yours? Hello, Troy. Hello, Ty. Hey, Huckleberry. If you're going to talk about repenting, then I'm going to block you. There are plenty of people who agree with your beliefs, but we prefer tolerance here. So if you'd like to be respectful of the variety of ways people choose to express their spirituality, you are more than welcome to return. But don't be telling people to repent. We've got threatened and gossip. Intervention. See, this is somebody who felt like they couldn't pursue the love they wanted because of what people would say, or maybe even because of a family member that might cut them off or make their life a little bit more difficult. And then a friend or somebody who truly cares about this King of Swords in the reverse says, go for it. You only live once, right? That's the general impression that they're giving. All right, this is the Noisy Tarot. That's not really its name. Good point, Naomi. I got you, Grandhard. You're playing Scrabble? Oh, I love that game. Yeah. That's like a family tradition. A couple times ago that I played it, I started off with a bingo. I don't know if that's what everyone calls it. I think that's what it's supposed to be called, where you use all of your tiles so you get 50 points plus whatever you actually scored, but it was the first turn, so it also, like, the word was doubled and then you add 50. I think I started off with like 89 points. It's probably like, I peaked at that moment, right? Like everything is downhill from there. Hello, Circle of Life, how are you doing? Hello, Roshni, how you doing? Or is it Roshni? We've got Seven of Wands and the Magician. Remember I said, well, we even had the Magician card come out, right? The Love Magician. This is someone saying, you know what? I feel like it's time for me to actually step up, contact this person, express how I feel, maybe apologize for how things went. But if I don't fight for it, then it really is not going to happen. They do know that time has passed and they may have already lost you, but if they don't try, then they'll always wonder what would have happened, right? No problem, Naomi. Oh, God bless you too. I hope he does too. Troy, I like it. Random fact, there's no such thing as boneless wings. They're nuggets, y'all. Stop it. It's true. If you think about it, it's not so much boneless wings as like chicken paste composite. Here's the parts of chicken and we shove it together and now it's a nugget. So we have the star and the reverse. Don't make me want wings for breakfast, man. We have the star and the reverse, Ace of Cups, the World, and Temperance. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with this person. I do feel like if you're the Queen of Swords and you haven't heard from this person, you're probably pretty much like over it. And for some of you, this is too little too late. That's your free will. You gotta do what makes sense for you. Some of you may have already met a new person. But for those of you who are wanting to hear from this person or hoping that they have addressed the problems that were a block for the two of you, oh, don't do that. Albino's asking me to do a best British accent, huh? See, here's the thing you don't know about me, Albino, because I'm pretty sure this is the first time you've been on my live chat. I had an obsession with Geordie Shore, so it would be like, what is it, Newcastle upon Tyne? Hello, Carl. Oh, I like this. Now she looks like me instead of I look like her. That's switching it up. That's great. Hello, Steven. How are you doing? Okay, Ash. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to remind you. Well, welcome first. I'm just gonna remind you that we're gonna keep this PG-13. Hello, Sierra. How are you doing? Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. All right, so here's that meddling family member, whoever this is. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, maybe it's like Auntie Susie, I don't know. But somebody comes rushing in and they're like, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? You're going somewhere? You're gonna pursue someone? Do you really think that's gonna work? So there's a challenge. We have somebody who lifts this King of Swords up and says, I know you can do it. And then we have their hopes kind of being dashed, or somebody calling them out and saying, you would never be able to get this work anyways. Casting some negative energy on this person's plans to come towards you because they don't feel like this person should be in a relationship with you. Or maybe they just don't believe in love. If you've ever seen White Oleander, I thought that was such a brilliant movie in terms of all of the acting performances, but Michelle Pfeiffer was quite believable as the somewhat heartless mother who consistently is telling her daughter not to get caught up in love, even though she's in prison because she got caught up in love. It's an interesting movie and a book if you're interested. Hello, Tammy. How are you doing? Hello, Lee. How are you doing? Hey, John. I know you're trying to like ruffle my feathers, but I'm not insulted. You can be respectful or I'll block you, okay? We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. And the Ace of Swords in the reverse. The thing is, this person who is judgy from the family, who's trying to cast doubt on this King of Swords plans, they're lying. It's like they're desperate. They may be motivated by their own needs. So in other words, if your being single makes my life easier because you take care of my house with me, or you help raise my kids, or you take care of our parent, there's something here where it's like, if you go off on your own, if you do your own thing, if you live your life the way you want to, then my life somehow gets downgraded. Maybe they feel threatened because they haven't followed their own wishes. Maybe it's a sibling who is jealous because they never thought to just like disagree with the family. Thank you, Theo. I hope you're having a good day. Let me know if you'd like me to pull some cards for you, if you have a specific question. LeVar, I'm not sure that the tarot cards are related to the trouble. Let's see. We're gonna go with the Golden Lenormand. How does Manuel feel for me? I got you, Theo. And Theo, I would guess I'm starting the personal questions here within the next, I don't know, 10 minutes, probably less, 5 to 10 minutes. And I've got Melissa up first, then Grindhard, and then it would be Theo. What else do we have? We have the Clover, which talks about luck. Maybe there's luck on this King of Swords in the reverse side because he's finally communicating his emotions. We have the Owls to confirm that there's communication. So yes, this person made me question whether or not I should actually reach out to you after my friend told me that I should. But at the end of the day, I know that they have not so great motivations when they talk to me. This family member of mine really only thinks of themselves. So why would I trust their intuition, or why would I trust their advice? I don't feel like they want me to be happy. So they're reverting back to the advice that their friend gave them. It's time for me to reach out. I shouldn't be afraid of love. If I want to be with this person, I've got to at least give it a little bit of an effort, right? So we have the book. This can talk about wisdom, it can talk about secrets, and I think both of those apply to this because we have someone who has held their emotions back. They've kept them secret, but they've also gained a lot of wisdom in the intervening time, the time since you've seen each other or spoken, and realized that being secretive really didn't do them any favors. They still miss you, right? This is the Romance Angel Oracle. Hello, Guy. Hello, Linda. How are you doing? It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. They may have never really felt like it was safe for them to love. They may have felt like they had to protect themselves against others as much as they possibly could. In the movie White Oleander, there is a strong connection that the daughter, the main character Ingrid, right? Astrid feels for boy, but she pushes him away because she's taking that advice from her mom to not let anybody get close to her. So it does feel to me like this is like, I've got to let go of that fear and that inability to allow somebody in that may have been inherited from family members or been seen as the right way to approach life. And they want to actually contact this soulmate. Hello, Yasir. How are you doing? Hey, Nick, if you want to talk about stuff that like actually has to do with the live chat or what I'm doing, cool. You can come back. Otherwise, I think you're in the wrong place for hash browns. I got tarot cards, but you can't eat them. Good timing, Melissa. We're getting close to those personal questions. So we've got love yourself first. This was the missing puzzle piece. They may have identified it as I don't have the strength or I don't have the courage to confess my emotions for this Queen of Swords. But where it really begins is, do you feel worthy? Do you feel like you have enough to offer? Do you feel like you can let go of the insecurity that may cause arguments or a block in your connection? This Magician, King of Swords, they've finally found that ability to love themselves because of that friendship, because of the person who says, you deserve this, you deserve to be happy. Instead of hearing from everybody else, oh, that's a horrible idea, they'll just use you. So they're keeping an open mind after years and years of assuming the worst of pretty much everybody. This is the Soul Cat Tarot. Hello, Leon. How are you doing? Don't be too harsh on yourself, Ty. And then after this, we're going to start with the personal questions, okay? We've got Three of Wands, Death, and the Moon. I love that card. I don't think I've seen this one yet. Look how beautiful that is. So I've decided to take action. I've hidden my emotions for long enough. Death is they've gone through a change. Death is a scary card for a lot of people who don't know much about the tarot, but it also speaks of rebirth, change, ascension. You're talking about somebody who lived their life in a way that other people had shown them this is how you do it. And now they're realizing they can choose what they want. They can choose to believe in love. They can change and address this secret love instead of just missing you all the time. So we have the Eight of Swords, someone who was maybe a little bit, well, we had that lockdown card, right? Someone who was in a little bit of a mental prison or felt like they didn't really know how to get things to be better, or at least like they were before. And it's because they felt like everything had changed when they encountered you. Look at how adorable those kitty cats are. They just want to snuggle up to you. We've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse, so there's impulsive energy here. Someone who's saying, you know what? I don't want to keep avoiding the life that I want. I want to actually go for this love. I like how you put that, April. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Serge. How you doing? Queen of Swords in the reverse. Two of Cups in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. Yeah, there could be a bit of a stress for the family relationship, whether it's sibling, parent, somebody else like that. Their bad advice or their discouragement of this romantic relationship has left a sour taste for the King of Swords in the reverse. So they may take a little bit of space. They may not want to really engage because they feel like they lost out on a lot of time that they could have been spending with the love of their life. And they don't even know yet, is this person even going to talk to me? Maybe I completely missed the boat on this one. So with the Six of Cups in the reverse, they realize they have to address this immature pattern of behavior or this approach to love that was taught to them from a young age and choose instead to be a much more direct communicator and confess those emotions. All right, we're gonna go with the Golden Girls. Hey Third Eye, how you doing? I agree, Grindheart. All right, so this is for Melissa. Me and Joe, will things work out? Will things work out for Joe and Melissa? We have the Star in the reverse, so there's some healing here that is the block. Queen of Wands. This is interesting because I would say this combination with the Star in the reverse, Queen of Wands, and the World in the reverse, for me, is very similar to this Love Magician. You have the power to transform this connection, but I'm not sure it applies to you. It feels to me like you do the work that you need to, but you know, it takes two to tango, so it could be on both sides. But the World in the reverse is saying there's still unfinished business here. There's still a desire on both sides or from both parties. But if you were to try to make things work right now without the healing, you are in a cycle where things keep repeating. There's love here, Two of Cups, but with the Ten of Cups in the reverse, it's like, why do I feel like we keep repeating a cycle where we get into an argument and then, you know, time passes and then we come back together? Like, it's because the healing has to happen in those moments of separation. What does he need to focus on? Four of Cups in the reverse. So there could be a fear of rejection. There could be maybe even like a fear of missing out. Like, I don't know if I should get into a relationship because I don't know who else is out there. And death, feeling like things will always end. Maybe there's some difficulty here on his part as far as believing in things going well, right? Hello, Iris. These are actually the personal questions. If you start the video over, I did a general reading that stopped about 3 minutes ago. Hello, Larissa. How are you doing? So for you, it looks like the goal here, or the perhaps the obstacle, is the Three of Cups and the Five of Swords. So this could be talking about how you get along with somebody on his side, so a friend or a family member. Or this could be saying that you have a friend or family member on your side that tends to make things a little bit worse or encourage you to walk away. So I do feel like there's things on both sides that could be addressed that would make your chances of being in a happy relationship or a healthy relationship that much stronger. But if those things are not addressed, then the patterns repeat. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I could use the word therapy here. If you've been together for that long, then it's about addressing those things and making sure that you take them seriously. Because I do feel like there's a lot of love, but it causes problems because there's this, I don't know, like repeating argument. Thank you. Good morning, Michael. How are you doing? Hello, Amy. All right, so good luck to you, Melissa. We've got Grindheart up next. I think I'm going to switch to a different, we'll go with the Egyptian Tarot. All right, so for Grindheart, we've got, why was it that he was feeling her energy at 6 a.m.? Got the Nine of Pentacles, because she was thinking about you. Ace of Swords in the reverse. There's something that she hasn't said that she's trying to decide whether or not to tell you. And I do feel like, I mean, maybe she was dreaming about it, but I do feel like that's why you felt her energy. So we do have the Moon over the dude on the Hanged Man. And has there been any talk from her family over the last 24 hours about him? Yes. It looks like there's a positive change in opinion from the family on her side with the wheel. This is things moving in your favor. But the other thing we have here is the Hermit in the reverse. So it's like they like you better, but they're still nervous about whether or not it would actually go like the distance. So Hermit in the reverse is like they still have to see how wise you are. Maybe this is about we have to like actually meet you. Maybe we have to get to know you better, right? Good morning, Lee. Thank you. Of course I can. If you're talking about this one, it's the Egyptian Tarot. One of my favorites. I've had it for a very long time, actually. And thank you, Theo. Let me know if you would like to add another question, okay? Theo, you are up after Grindhard's questions, and then it would be Lee after that. So Theo, if I see another question for you, I can just include it in your time, okay? Are we quoting cake right now? I like it. Manuel wants to say to me. And why you never had courage to tell me? And secret feelings. I got you, Theo. Thank you. So Grindhard, we've got, oh, what is she? All right, so I think it's important to say sometimes they might not tell you if it's important for her to tell you, but we'll see. What is it? What is this Ace of Swords in the reverse? I feel like this is one of those things where when you trust someone, you let them know. So it's like maybe a secret of hers or maybe something that she doesn't really tell very many people. It could be something to do with her health. It could be something to do with her childhood or experiences that she's had. But I do feel like there's something here that she feels like she needs to tell you so that you understand her better. What's up, Dracula? Sweet dreams. Sleeping during the day. Hello, Missy. How are you doing? Hello, Ziggy. Ooh. Hold on. We don't need to repeat. You can't even see the pendant. Like, what? My pendant is a cat, by the way. All right, so Grindhard, we've got, will there be a relationship soon? Will they be in a relationship soon? Well, excuse me. Not soon, but you're making progress. You got to keep in mind, this woman has boundaries. You got to allow for that time. But with the Seven of Cups, I do feel like this is saying she hasn't really decided that yet. And she does need to let go of this frustration or anger that she's had from previous experiences, or let go of that heartbreak and not assume that you're going to do the same thing. So then we have, has he broken her walls down? I think we kind of know that. How is the progress for Grindhard breaking down her walls? Six of Wands. Okay, so this is saying so far you are very successful at this. Seven of Wands. It requires time, but you are doing the right things, especially when you allow for space or a change in the pacing. So I feel like this is saying you're not there yet, but you've been more successful than probably anybody else as far as how she's responding to you. Hello, Rebecca. I am indeed. I'm currently doing personal questions if you'd like to do one right away. Otherwise, if you're talking about a long form reading, you can email me, and my email is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for liking and subscribing, by the way. All right, so I think that was all of them. Grindhard, you know we're rooting for you, right? Let's go with the Hocus Pocus Tarot, and we're going to move on to Theo, and then after Theo, we have Lee. So for Theo, we have, how does Manuel feel for me? How does Manuel feel for Theo? We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, the Seven of Lightning or Seven of Swords, the Moon in the reverse, and the Eight of Swords or Eight of Lightning in the reverse. So it does feel to me like there's an assumption that you had done something with bad intention. With Moon in the reverse, this is like hiding why you're doing something. And Eight of Swords in the reverse is somebody who has removed the blindfold. So this could imply that he assumed the worst of you and now realizes that you were not actually trying to cause problems. Maybe there's new information that's come in. Or it's changed the other way and now he feels like you are difficult, right? Because there's this Seven of Swords, which is a lie. Somebody has lied. Because it starts out with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like this is someone who feels like they assumed the worst of you. And now they're realizing that maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe I should have asked you more about it. Maybe I shouldn't have, believed the person that was talking to me. Yeah, I think it's that one. So feeling like he's wronged you, basically, that he owes you an apology. What does Manuel want to say to Theo? Ooh, let me write that one down real quick. Thank you, Rebecca. About the dreams, I got you. And so for Theo, we're on what does Manuel want to say? Weird. 5 of Pumpkins was back here. So we have, 2 of Cups, Page of Potions, is it 6? 6 of Pumpkins or 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 6 of Lightning. Honestly, this looks like I want to say that I love you or I miss you. I'm sorry. Page of Potions is often an apology. That's the Page of Cups. I feel like I was not fair to you and I want to make things right. So I think an apology is top of mind. And why has he not had the courage to say what he needs to say? Knight of Candles and 2 of Lightning or 2 of Swords in the reverse. Does he have kind of like a nervous energy or distracted easily? I feel like he just needs to make the decision, but then he like comes up with another reason why not to. Oh, I don't know if I should do that today. This is probably a bad time. Oh, I don't know if I should call. It's a little bit too early. I think he's making excuses so that he doesn't do it because he's afraid of how you would respond. 5 of Swords or 5 of Lightning in the reverse. I want to make amends, but what if I ruin it? If I leave it as a cliffhanger, then it's not really over, right? Hello, Odie. Yes, they are. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Sahar. So we've got Page of Pumpkins. I do feel like there's an upcoming opportunity, and it could be Halloween. Like, I know I chose the Hocus Pocus deck, but I feel like there's a party. And that could be the thing that finally gives him a little bit more courage. What are the secret feelings here? The secret feelings are I want to be with you, or I feel happy when I'm around you, I miss you. But I didn't like see things clearly before. I let somebody else talk to me and convince me to look at things in the wrong way. So, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely say he does, but let me... Okay, I have a good idea. I'm gonna pull a few cards for you, Theo, and then we'll move on to Lee and Rebecca after that. Hey, Archetype, how you doing? So this is the hidden truth. We'll see if the I love you card comes out. How does Manuel feel about Theo? Is there actual love here? We have, I need security. So he's scared that if he pursues something serious with you, that he would be left brokenhearted. But he feels like he can be himself with you. Sorry, I know it's backwards for you. Hi, Jessica. Thank you. Love life. What do you need to know? Justin. Does he regret leaving? All right, Jessica, thank you. You are after Rebecca. Yeah, I do too. All right, so I can be myself with you. You didn't see my tears, so I do feel like he's been crying about the situation. I hide my feelings. We had that at the beginning of this reading, oddly. And he wants a chance to show you that he could be good to you. I think he loves you. I want you back. And I don't know why this happened. He feels foolish for letting things get out of hand. So would I say he loves you? I would, yes. I think he might be a little bit hesitant, like just kind of dipping the toe in the pool because he doesn't want his heart to get broken. But if he's given the chance, it's like, I will give you 150%. All right, I'm going to, let's see, let's go with the Cat's Eye Tarot. Theo, I'm wishing you luck. I do feel like there's a lot of positive potential here. So manifest, but avoid things like love spells or obsessing over things. If you have hobbies to keep you busy, that might be more effective at drawing this conversation to you than thinking about it all the time. All right, so we've got Lee up next. We'll do a random card pull. And then after that, it'll be Rebecca and then Jessica. What do we have for Lee? Hello, Mr. Times. Hello, Lauren. You're welcome, Theo. What do we have for Lee, please? We have the Page of Swords, Judgment, Four of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. This feels to me like there's a decision that is made regarding details. I think these are financial details that somebody has lied about. So this is like you submitted one thing and there's something missing here. With the Ace of Cups in the reverse, I feel like this is someone who's rejected and told they have to do things over again. Yeah, rejected, Four of Cups. So somebody submits paperwork or submits a story or justification and it's found to be faulty or found to be erroneous and told that they have to redo that whole paperwork. This could be you. This could be someone else. Is this Lee? It could be you, yes. Maybe someone gave you the wrong information. Because I feel like this is kind of shocking to you that someone's like, you have to redo this. Why did you do it this way? But you're encouraged to take quick action on whatever this edit or redoing of something is, because it will help you to avoid a loss. So maybe this is someone who catches an error and tells you to correct it, and they're like looking out for you. I like that. Hello, Life with Leon. How are you doing? Hello, Atala. What's up, Matt? Wishing you luck, Lee, and I hope you have a good weekend. We're on to Rebecca. We're looking for clarification of the dreams. What clarification can we offer Rebecca regarding her dreams, please? Two of Swords, 10 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. It feels to me like you're being pushed to make a decision, saying you have the information that you need, but it's like, I don't know, man, they look the same to me. I don't know if I can make this decision yet. This could have to do with your living situation or a romantic connection. It could also be to do with family or children, but the decision here, it can't be delayed too much longer. So Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. This is like saying you've taken enough time or you've reviewed everything available to you, but it's time to like actually do something about it. Oh, I love that. Not really. Thank you. So we have the Devil. There's fear that's getting in the way. So this could be an expression of your fear or hesitation, and the overarching like nudge or message is do something, take action, don't walk away, don't ignore this situation. There's something that you can do to get what you want or to have the resolution you're seeking, but it all starts with making a decision. And I feel like your intuition is guiding you because you've come through as the Hermit. This is somebody who knows how to pick up on those details or those messages. There could be additional information coming to you. But I feel like you already have a lot of it. Queen of Cups. This is going to impact your sense of peace, tranquility, or happiness. So I do feel like you'll make the right decision. You just have to make it in the right time. Hello, Stephanie. How are you doing? I started this with a general reading, and about 30 minutes in, started with personal questions. Stephanie, if you have a personal question, I take questions from those who tip. I do like to do freebies as well, but this one has quite a lot of requests, so I probably won't be able to get to freebies this time. And I do go live quite often. Hello, Danelle. How are you doing? Good luck to you, Rebecca. And we're going to move on to Jessica, and I'm going to get a different tarot deck. If you can't tell, I really like cats. So we're going to look at love life for Jessica. What does Jessica need to know about love life? We have the 8 of Swords. There's something here you're not seeing. Justice and the Wheel of Fortune. So there's something that you're unaware of that has been going through a change. And you can see with both the first 2 cards here, we have cats with closed eyes. So I don't know if there's something you can do to kind of like refresh the intuition here. Go spend some time in nature. Let your feet touch the grass. Watch the waves on the ocean or on the shore, the beach. There's something here that you need to kind of get back in touch with the intuition, because there's a chance here or a possibility that you miss a really good option or a really good path. This could also mean that you're not necessarily aware that somebody is going through changes on their own. Shout out to Ozzy, or I guess I should say RIP. What does Jessica need to know? Oh, thank you for joining the membership. I appreciate you, Van. You're welcome, Rebecca. So Jessica, we've got a Tower moment here that you need to be aware of. 4 of Wands in the reverse. This looks like instability or difficulty that enables someone to pursue a new path or start over again. So in other words, there could be instability. I feel like this is somebody else. I feel like you don't know that someone else is going through something that enables them to see what they need to do to be good for you or to approach you the right way. Yes, Stephanie, they are. So this has to be Justin, right? Let me just confirm. Is this Justin who's going to change? Okay. Hold on. So there's emotional frustration here, a loss of love, and someone who feels like they need to heal. But I don't know. This might be someone other than Justin. So you may not be aware that there's someone else who wants to approach you who has been working on themselves. Is there going to be a choice between Justin and someone else? Yeah. There's 2 people who have walked away, or 2 people that are probably considered exes that are interested in coming back around, and you are going to end up having a choice between the 2. And you may be surprised. Does Justin regret leaving? Yes. He felt like he would be happier on his own, but he regrets it because there's a lack of stability and there's a lack of enjoyment that he didn't really predict happening. Hello, Glowing Masterpiece. How are you doing? Thank you, Stephanie. All right, I'm writing that down for you. One thing I do, Stephanie, one thing I do recommend, I should say, is asking like what you personally can do to impact the timeline. If there's anything, for example, that's blocking you from this love, I want you to be aware of it. So I will probably ask your question and then kind of add that onto it, okay? Accurate. So let me see, where was I? He does regret leaving and what's coming. And you want to know, okay, let's see. What do we know about this other choice besides Justin, the romantic rival? What do we know? 7 of Cups. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, 5 of Wands in the reverse. This is someone who didn't express their emotions to you when they wanted to because they felt like they would just be a distraction from what was going on with you and Justin. And they didn't want to be a rival. I feel like they're waiting for the moment where it seems like you aren't caught up on him anymore. Where are we with healing for this person? 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, 4 of Pentacles. I feel like this is somebody who has had instability and difficulties, but has been working to master them. So remember we had the Wheel of Fortune at the beginning. I feel like this is somebody who has been really doing whatever they can to make sure that when they offer you something that it's legit. So I do feel like this is going to be someone who kind of makes you think, like they're going to be a decent alternative, right? And what's coming? What's coming in love for Jessica, please? Well, there is a warning here. So you have two at least somewhat legitimate offers, right? That are going to happen where you choose between them. But I feel like before that happens, you have somebody who is just interested in the horizontal mambo. You have somebody who's just interested in naked time. They might be real attractive, but I don't care if it's insert generally attractive person here. Who's like the hottest person right now? I don't know. Can we answer that? I don't care how hot they are. If they only want to hang out with you for physical intimacy purposes, it is really important for you to be like, nope, no thank you. Because it might literally mean that you miss out on one or both of the other offers. So that is something that you really need to be mindful of. I'm wishing you luck, Jessica. We'll move then to Stephanie. And we've got, when will I meet my husband? I'm going to grab a different tarot deck. When will Stephanie meet her husband? King of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Cups in the reverse. So we have something here that is blocking love for you. Is this a spell? I say, is this a spell? And I get the Devil card. Stephanie, I think there's someone here who's blocking love for you. Do you have an angry ex? Is this an angry ex that is blocking love? You have an angry ex. And this person may have been working with interesting approaches to try to make it so that you don't move on. This doesn't have to be somebody that you were in a relationship with. This could have been just somebody who you rejected, but they're mad. And I don't see this as being something that they did once. I see them doing this over and over again. Four of Swords, trying to make it difficult for you. They could be impacting your perception of others, or they could be sending energy to try to keep others from being interested in you. Hello, Spirit Walker. How are you doing? So, what can Stephanie do to address this? Three of Swords, Star in the reverse. There is someone you need to cut off, or someone you need to cut the cord from. There could be someone you need to block, or someone you need to just stop talking to. But I do feel like you have some power over this. You do have the ability to block this person's energy or block the spell that has been done on you. Once this is done, what's the timeline like? Then I think it takes 6 months or less for you to meet someone, but you have to block this first. It could just be cleansing, saging, salt bath, but this person has been influencing your love life. But you're able to walk away from it. 8 of Cups. And what else does Stephanie need to know about this? We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. There's also something here about making sure the way you speak about yourself is positive. I'm not saying you have to lie to yourself, but if you are talking down on yourself at all, that is causing a block. Because I do feel like someone here has mistreated you or not respected you the way that you deserve to be respected, and I don't want their view of you to be your view of you. We've got 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, 7 of Swords in the reverse. The truth is, you are lovable. And the more you embrace that, the more you embrace that confident energy, the closer you get to that relationship. Hey, Ripley. When did you speak to God? All right. Well, it's been real. Okay, you guys, I think I need to go eat some food because we're at 70 minutes just there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping my video if you have that option. You just have to swipe right on the chat option or the comment section. And thank you to everyone for getting personal questions today. I had a lot of fun with that.